this computer. So, good afternoon, and thank you so much for coming to Lunch and Learn today, particularly on a sunny Friday afternoon. Well done for making time for yourself and joining us at Lunch and Learn. And as you know, these sessions are designed for you and your business. If you want to turn your camera off, that's absolutely fine. We do love seeing your face. It does make a really big difference if you can see smiling faces. But likewise, genuinely, if you're just listening in the background while eating your lunch and getting on with other things, we get that. That is fine as well. In a minute, I'm going to be handing over to Nick. Nick is behind This Mum Loves Tech, and she'll be delivering a fabulous session on Does Your Tech Stack Up? Nick comes recommended and referred to me via Leslie Waldron, who's also part of our wonderful community. And as soon as we connected, I thought this is one for us. So I'm going to stop talking, hand over to Nick. So if you want to get into the garden, you can do that shortly. But meanwhile, Nick, it's over to you. And thank you so very much for joining us today.
Oh, well, thank you, Faye, so much. Leslie's lovely. I had her on my podcast and we just kept chatting and I was like, oh, we need to actually wrap this up now.
She's a tonic, isn't she? She's an
Yes.
absolute tonic. Yeah.
So, right, I'm going to share my screen, just make sure that you all can see it okay. So, can you all see that? Excellent. That is a good start. It's always good when the tech person's tech works. It's always a bit, yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm looking forward to hopefully you're all learning something this lunchtime with my Does Your Tech Stack Up masterclass. It's all about learning about the simple systems that you can use to help you run your business without overwhelming you and having to become your own IT department. Because whatever stage of business you're at, this masterclass will hopefully have something in it for you. We're going to go through the essential tools that every business owner needs, the ones that are going to help you grow, and how to choose what are the right ones for you, because you do not need to spend a fortune or use every tool that is out there. It's about making simple but smart choices for your business. So let's go through a bit about what I'm going to cover today. So let's face it, as online business owners, we cannot escape the tech, whether it is communicating with your clients, creating content, or managing the day-to-day operations. Tech is something you're probably going to be using every single day, but with so many options out there, it can feel overwhelming to figure out what tools are actually worth your time. So today I'm going to go through some of the basics. I'll explain what a tech stack actually is, why it's more important than you might think, and then we're going to look at those two stages. And then I'll be talking about like the different costs of tech and how to use the right tools for your business. So by the end of today, you'll hopefully have a plan for what you need to be putting in your tech stack so it lines up with your business goals. So before we get into the tech, I'll just say a little bit about me. So I am, as Faye said, Nicola Walsh, the founder of This Mum Loves Tech. And the most important thing you need to know is I love the tech so you don't have to. So it is my mission to make tech simple for busy online business owners and help you set up affordable systems, because so that you can have more time to actually do what it is that you love, because I'm sure most of you did not get into business to do the tech. It's just an unfortunate side effect. I specialize in platforms like MailerLite, Google Workspace, Canva, WordPress websites, all kind of different stages of the tech setup that are going to help that background system work smoothly. But I'm also happy to kind of work on a tech challenge. So if there's tools and other platforms that you're using, I'll always let you know up front if it's something I'm not familiar with. But I do have also a fellow community of tech lovers that I can pass people on to as well. I'm also a mum to two cheeky boys, so I completely understand what it's like to run a business around family life. It can never feel like there's enough time in the day, which is why I'm always on the lookout for tech tools that are going to help me automate and speed things up. But the important thing I want to put here is I don't believe that everything should be automated. You know, the most important asset in your business is you. So it's about using the tech to do the things that don't involve you, need you in it necessarily, without taking that personal touch away from your business. But I do have the tools set up, so it means that I can spend more time with my boys while my business keeps running in the background, doing things like adding people to my email list, helping people book calls with me, or helping people purchase products and purchase services from me, so that then my business can keep working whether I am or not. And I want to share that knowledge with as many people as possible. Right, so that's enough about me. Let's look at what is actually a tech stack. So a tech stack is simply the collection of tools, software, and platforms that you use to run your business. Think of it a bit like a recipe. It's your ingredients. It's the email tool you use, the calendars you use, the payment systems you use, if you have a website, what platform that is, and so on. And it's about getting the right combo of these tools that make the best end result. Everyone will have their own unique take on the recipe, so it's finding out what works for your business taste buds the best. And when your tech stack is working for you, it saves you so much time. It stops you from repeating tasks or juggling tools that don't quite fit. And it also helps you come across as professional without huge monthly costs. There is no such thing as a perfect tech stack. There is only what works for you, and it can change as your business changes. It's never set in stone. And really, once you have the right tech stack in place, it can help you make more money and free up your time to focus on what you do best. So let's look at some of these, what I call the foundational tools. These are the tools that help you look professional, keep in touch with your audience, and build a strong online presence from the start. So they are a domain name, a professional email address, cloud storage, social media platforms, an email service provider, and a content creation tool. So these are this is from my own personal experience of them being what I would call the essential tools. So I know some of you are in the garden having lunch and stuff, but it would be great to know how many of these have you already got in place? Just I'm going to go into a lot more detail with them in a minute, but just put a 1 to 6 because there's 6 different options out there. Up there, how many of these, from just looking at what I've said they're called, do you feel like, yeah, I've already got that? I don't know if I can get the chat up. Is it going to be nice to me? Yeah, there we go. I put it there so I can keep an eye on the chat as I'm talking.
Sarah's holding up 4 fingers.
4 fingers. Okay, perfect. Right, so I'm going to go a bit more into now what each of one of these is, and then maybe that's going to, like, some of you might realise, oh, Emma says 5, lovely. So some of you might realise you've got more than others, or maybe you realise you've got more than one of each of these and you need to do a bit of tidying up. So we'll start with a domain name. So that'll be something like yourbusinessname.co.uk.com, whatever kind of ending you decide to go with. And it's not just for when you need a website. There is so many things that can connect to your domain name, which I will go into more details about in a minute. But basically, the domain name is the first step to owning your space online. Yeah, you can use Photoshop as a content creation tool. That all counts. Because no two people can own the same domain name. Now, people can own different endings. So someone can have .co.uk and someone can have .com, but no one can have the same one. So it really is your way of kind of owning a piece of the digital space. Now, my top tips for choosing a domain name is it doesn't really matter which domain provider you choose. In the past, I've used GoDaddy, Namecheap, and I'm now using Hostinger. Just make sure they have a good customer service and they have low renewal costs, because once you've got a domain name, unless you have a complete rebrand, it's something you're going to be using for a very long time, and it should only cost you about £15 a year, depending on the different endings have different pricing. So if it costs you more than that, like, you don't want to be paying out loads for a domain name every year. The most important thing, though, is that you have access to your own domain name. So if you've bought it through a website developer, or you have a website that someone else has done for you, if you don't have access to the background of that website, you don't actually have access to your domain name anymore. So you want to make sure as well that if someone buys it for you, that they register it in your name and not theirs. I don't know how many times it like worries me when I do kind of my challenges and things like that. There's always one person who realizes they don't actually have access to their own domain name. So therefore they don't actually have access to their own business asset. So it's really, really important that you, even if you don't ever touch it, you at least have a login for it. So this is my important question to you. If you have a domain name, is it registered in your name, and do you have access to it? I just don't know if anyone is able to let me know in the chat. And obviously, if you're watching this on replay, this is something to, make sure you write those questions down. No, but you're a franchise. Oh, because you're Pink Spaghetti, right? Yeah. So that is slightly different because they would have set that up for you, so that as part of the franchise, they still own the domain name rather than it being with somebody else. So Sarah has her own and she has access, so that's good. Yeah, so it's just really important that you you have Emma says yes and access. Good, good, good. That's a good start. Oh, Jenny says, I have clients that got a developer to buy their. Yes, exactly. Go AWOL and then there's no way to get access. Exactly. That's why whenever I work with clients and we do anything to do with domain names, I always make sure they buy it in their name first because, yeah, it is scary, isn't it, Jenny? How many times that actually happens? It's yeah. So I always make sure people know how important it is to have that access to their own domain name. Right. So the next thing that's essential is a professional email address. It's one that uses your domain name. So something like hello@yourbusinessname.com. So you can see already, I'm talking about the next tool, and you need to get this second one, you need the first one. So this is how the text stacks up. So having a professional email address, as the name suggests, makes you look more professional than one that ends in @Gmail or @Hotmail, and gives you more credibility whatever stage of business you're at. Like if someone saw an email address and it was from someone at Gmail, but then they saw someone that had a business name, they would automatically think that business is more established, and it might not be the case. So where can you set up your domain email address? Your domain provider will often offer you an email address when you buy the domain name with them. Now that's okay if to just get you started, but it's often a very basic inbox and it's a webmail email address usually, which is not the best inbox to use. However, a lot of people don't realize that if you are familiar with Outlook, like Hotmail, or Gmail, you can actually connect your domain name to them. So if you prefer a Outlook Hotmail inbox, you can connect your domain via Microsoft 365. Or if you are more familiar with Gmail, you can set up your professional email address in Google Workspace. And then you have the inbox that you're used to using, so you don't need to learn a new system. There is a cost with this. Both of them cost around £6 a month. But it means that you can use all the features that you're used to using, but instead of using your @Hotmail or @Gmail email address, you'll be using your business one. There is one you can set up which is completely free, which is called Zoho Mail. Again, if you wanted to keep your costs as low as possible. My recommendation will always be Google Workspace, because at some point you're going to need a Google account, whether it's to set up a Google My Business listing to collect your Google reviews, if you've got like a physical location, you want to be listed on the map. Even if you want to set up a YouTube channel, YouTube is owned by Google, so you need a Google address to be able to access it. And it makes your life a lot easier if it's all connected to the one email address and you're not trying to remember which email address you signed up to which. So I'd love to know in the chat, are you a Google fan? Are you a Microsoft fan? There's no right or wrong answer with this. It's people, depending on their background, depends on what one they favour, or if you can favour something completely different, let us know that as well. Because I think it's good for people to see that people are using different things. Because these are what I recommend, but it may not be what's the best choice for your business, depending on what you're familiar with and what you've used before. So Sarah's used Google, Emma's used both, but she's currently in Microsoft. Yeah, so you can the goal with this really, I think, is like sometimes people aren't aware that they can have that inbox connected to their domain name. They don't need a separate account. So, I'm forever helping people consolidate their inboxes into as fewer inboxes as possible, so that they don't have to keep worrying about different logins. Right, the next thing we're going to look at is cloud storage. Cloud storage is you can import you can import to Gmail, but the problem with that is there's a delay. So sometimes if you're waiting for like confirmation of emails, because it's importing from, it's still going into your original inbox and then out to a Gmail one. You have to wait for it to go into twice. So, and yeah, sometimes that can get a bit of a delay on it, but you can do it that way. Cloud storage. This lets you save, backup, and access your files from any online device. Why do you need it? Because if everything is just on your desktop or on your phone or whatever, and something goes wrong with either of that, you've then lost those files. By having them in an online cloud storage, even if you have to change your phone or your computer or your laptop or whatever, you can still get access to your files. It also makes it a lot easier to share files with other people. And so if you're working with clients or coach people, you're working with a coach or something like that, you can share your files a lot easily with a wider audience. So the four most widely used cloud storage tools are Google Drive, which is included with Google Workspace, Dropbox, which you can get started with for free, OneDrive, which comes as part of Microsoft, and iCloud, which is for Mac users. So if, as I've mentioned in the last one, I use Google Workspace, so I therefore use Google Drive because it's already part of my account. It holds everything on there, from my website backups to my course material, my podcast files, and it allows me to easily share files with clients. And because it's part of my Google Workspace, it's no additional cost to what I'm already paying. So, confession time. How many storage accounts do you have? Because again, this is something that I help people kind of sort out, because they've got files in a Dropbox and files in a Google Drive. And again, the more different email accounts they have, the more different places they have their files. So yeah, again, no right or wrong, just one for work, one for personal. Yeah, that's great. That's what I have as well. One for work and one for personal. Faye's got two as well. Helen's got two. Oh, because you guys sound like a fairly organised bunch, so that's good. You've not got loads of accounts all over the place. Yeah, some of my clients are like, I don't know which account this has been saved into. So again, there's a thing you can do if you are on a Google account. There's something you can do called Google Takeout, which will package up everything you've got. Oh, it's Faye said it. I wouldn't say it was organised. Well, but at least you've not got like six you're trying to contend with. Two is much better. But yeah, if you do ever want to consolidate, particularly with a Google account, there's something called Google Takeout, and what it does is it will package up everything that's in one account, and then it will give you some zip files, and then you can upload it to another one. So again, when I'm trying to consolidate people's accounts, I tend to use that to kind of bring everything out and put it all into one central location. Right, now I'm not going to say too much about social media, but I couldn't talk about your tech stack without including it, because it is a free way of marketing your business and getting in front of your ideal clients. My tips would be, you don't need to be everywhere at once. Start where you think your ideal client is most likely to hang out, and also where you enjoy showing up. There is no point being on TikTok if you hate being on video, for example. That can always come later. But my one tip in terms of tech is, even if you're not planning to actively use a particular platform, it's a good idea to claim your username as soon as possible. If you can connect it to your domain name, even better. So then there's that consistency. Because, for example, when I first started This Mum Loves Tech, I had an idea that I was going to do a podcast and it was going to be a video podcast. So I made sure that I claimed the username on YouTube for This Mum Loves Tech, because most of the channels, the username or the account name is unique. So I made sure I claimed that name. I didn't put anything on it. And then a year later, when I wanted to launch my podcast and put the first video out there, I didn't have to worry, is This Mum Loves Tech available? Because I already knew that it was. So it would be great to know, what is your main platform for social media? Do you have a main one that you focus on? Have you claimed your username on the other ones out there in case you want to start one up or make it your... Sarah says she's on Instagram and LinkedIn. Her main two. Yeah, they're probably my main two as well. I'm mainly focusing on Instagram at the moment, and then obviously I have my free Facebook group, so I'm in Facebook quite a lot as well. Right, come back and check the chat in a minute. Right, email service provider. Your email list is where I believe the real magic happens. Unlike social media, you own your email list, and people on it are much more likely to convert into paying customers. But thanks to the spam protection rules that came in, well, 2 years ago now, you can't use an email address ending in at Gmail or at Hotmail for email marketing anymore. You have to have an email address that's connected. You have to have a domain name of some sort, like whether it's via an email address or if you're using an all-in-one platform, you can just connect the domain name. But basically, you need to have a domain name so you can authenticate it. Which is again where you can see this tech stack is stacking up because it all starts with that first one, which is the domain name. And although domain authentication can be a bit of a tricky tech setup, once you're done, it's all gone green and you've got your ticks, then you're good to go. If you're just getting started with email marketing, my recommendation will always be MailerLite. It is a free platform for your first 500 subscribers. And what I really like about MailerLite is their free plan is packed with pretty much all of the features you need to get your email marketing up and running. They don't cap how many subscriber groups you can have, how many sign up forms. You can do multi-step automations. And automation is when emails go out automatically after an event, like someone signed up to your list, they'll get an automatic series of emails. In some of the other platforms, they only limit that to one step, whereas I've been on the free plan for ages. I've just recently made a switch to a different platform, and I had like 30 plus steps in one of my automations, and it wasn't costing me anything. So I'm not sure here who uses email marketing, but if you do, when did you send your last email? That's my question to you. Because some people have it and then they never actually email it people on it. So it's a little bit of confession time. So I sent an email yesterday. So yeah, I don't know anyone else is using email marketing and using it regularly. So Helen sent one last month. Emma sent one for a client today. Once a week at least. That's brilliant. Okay. Gold star for you. It's on my list to start using. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so those of you that aren't maybe using email marketing yet, it's definitely something that's made a huge difference in my business. So it's definitely something that I always recommend people can get up and running. And the good thing is with something like MailerLite, it doesn't cost you anything either. So you can really experiment with how email marketing is going to work for you and your business, because not everyone's business is the same, without worrying about like huge monthly expenses. Right, the final part of your essential kind of tech stack is something to create your content, whether that is your social media posts, whether that's a lead magnet for email marketing, or whether that's printed marketing material that you might take to networking events or out when you're, doing things in person. You're going to need to be creating content within your business. There are a few different options out there, but Canva is my recommendation, especially if you don't have a strong design background, because there are so many templates in there. You can make any of your marketing materials that you need. And the good thing is you can get started with Canva for free too. So again, there's not that monthly expense to worry about to kind of get things up and running and working for you. So who here is a Canva lover? I know someone mentioned they use Photoshop, so we might have some Adobe fans in here as well. I know there's Adobe Express that a lot of people are using. Yeah, Sarah says she's a Canva lover. Helen and Emma use Canva. Yeah, it's a really accessible tool for everyone to use. So, and there's so much you can do with it. Like I create not only stuff for work, but like presents from friends. Like all of my friends are turning, including me, are turning 40 this year. So I've been doing big like photo collages for them all. Like, and I did all that in Canva. Right, so once you've got your foundations in place, you'll start to look at tools that support your growth. You don't need all of them. You just need what works for your business. So my top kind of growth tools are video call platforms, such as like the one we're on right now, which are great for online one-to-ones, workshops and trainings, online booking systems, payment systems, websites and or landing pages, and online courses or membership platforms. Like, as I said, you don't need all of these, but there are definitely more nices to have when you and your business wants or needs it. So I would love to know again, if you put a 1 to 5 in the chat, how many of these do you have? Do you currently have set up in your business at the moment? I know most of you are probably using a video call platform because we're on them now. 4, 3, 4. Yeah, so a lot of you are probably using a lot of these tools already. I'm going to go through again like I did with the others. Oh, so you're still a paper diary person. That's fine if that works for you. Yeah, that's the whole point with the tech. The tech is there to save you time. So if it's not going to save you time, then don't need it. Right, video call platforms. They let you host meetings, workshops, group trainings, just like what we're on today. And the most widely used ones are Zoom, which is what we're on now, Google Meet, which you get as part of Google Workspace, and Microsoft Teams, which is a lot of Outlook users use. I switched from Zoom to Google Meet last year to simplify my tech stack because it is included with my Google Workspace subscription, and I was upgrading my account to the next tier anyway, and it meant then that I could then record my Google Meet meetings. And it automatically saves them to my Google Drive, which is where I wanted them anyway. So it was cutting out steps for me of having to like upload my Zoom recordings. And Google Meet works exactly the same as Zoom. You can share, share screen. You can share multiple screens at once. Like I was working with a client this morning and we were both sharing our screen at the same time. You can record and all that. There's breakout rooms, chat, all that kind of thing. So I know a lot of you are saying you were using quite a few of these growth tools already. So if you are using a video call platform, which one are you using? Are you using Zoom, Teams, Google Meet? Like, again, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's just about what's working for you and maybe making you aware of ones you might not know. Helen's using Google Meet as well. Yeah, cool. Like I said, that's what I'm now using. Sarah's going to be switching to Teams because, yeah, you got to move where Teams because it comes with an MS package, but I prefer Zoom. Yeah. Like it's about what works best for your business and what everybody else is using around you and all that kind of thing. And yeah, about if you can save yourself some pennies at the same time, then all the better for it. Right, online calendar booking system. So an online booking system lets people book sessions or calls with you directly through a link. So you don't have to go back and forth saying, when are you free? Can you do this time? Can you do that time? And what's great about them is you can connect them automatically with your video call platform. So any of those 3 that we just spoke about, you can connect and it will automatically generate the meeting links. And then if you have an online calendar, it will automatically add them to your calendar. And you can set your meetings for individuals or group bookings as well. And because you can control your availability, you can automate reminders, and you can even take payment at the time of booking. What I would say, if you're not sure which tool is best to use, look at what other tech you're already using and what integrates with that really easily. What integrates with your calendar, what integrates with your chosen video tool. I use TidyCal because it is simple, affordable, and does everything that I need it to do. It syncs with multiple calendars. So if you do have more than one calendar that you're using or more than one account, you can sync multiple calendars on there. And if you have like subscribed to loads of calendars, you can decide whether it reads that particular calendar or not. It lets clients book and pay for calls as they're booking them. It sends automatic reminders, and then you can set up group bookings or multiple bookings if you want people to book like a set of 3 calls or something like that. And the best part about it is a one-time payment. So there are no monthly fees. It's $29 for life, which is, I don't know what that converts in pounds, but yeah, so you pay for it once and then it does everything that you need it to do. Another feature that I like is that I can move a meeting in my calendar, so on my Google Calendar, and then it updates everything in TidyCal for me. So it will update the time of the meeting or any reminders that are going out just by changing where the meeting is in my calendar. So that's really helpful. So if anyone uses an online booking system, which ones are you using? There's loads out there, like Calendly is a popular one. I mean, the only reason I switched really, because that was what I was using before, was from Calendly to TidyCal, just because it was a lot cheaper. And again, if we can save money on our tech, it means we can invest money in other places. So Jenny's using TidyCal as well. That's great. They did a big update recently, and everyone was like, everything's moved around, but they've added in lots more different features as well, which is quite cool. And you get access to all of them even in your lifetime payment. So yeah, at the moment, things can always change, but at the moment you get all the updates and just for that one price, which is cool. Right, simple payment system. So payment systems allow you to take payments online securely, whether you sell services, products, digital downloads, or courses. You'll need a way for customers to pay you online. Most platforms do deduct a small transaction fee, but they don't require a monthly fee, which is ideal when you're starting out. So two of the most popular ones are Stripe and PayPal. So you can set up a Stripe or a PayPal business account for free, and you only pay them when you get paid. So they take a percentage of their payment as the payment goes through. It means that you can just set up links for your products, set up checkouts, and then you can just send people there to pay you. Makes things a lot easier. And also, if you're using something like TidyCal or Calendar or that kind of thing, Stripe and PayPal will connect to both of those as well. Landing pages or websites. So what's the difference? A landing page is a single online page, whereas a website is a multi-page digital home for your business, which will include things like homepage, about page, services, contact form, blog, etc. A landing page is there to do one job. Normally it's to get people to sign up to your email list, get people to join a course, all that kind of thing. And it doesn't normally have the menu bar at the top. You don't need to have a full website to get started. A well-designed landing page is enough because you just need to have a link that you can take people from social media or when you meet them in person to get them the next stage of the journey, which is normally joining your email list, or if you have got an offer for them, it's signing up for your offer. If you're not ready for a full website, tools like MailerLite, or if you're using any other kind of email marketing system, will let you create landing pages in there. You normally do have to pay if you want to connect your domain name, at which point I usually recommend people then go to a website platform. But the good news is you can get started for free with things like this as well. But long term, having your own website gives you control over your content, your branding, your SEO. And like I said, it really is that digital home for your page. But yeah, a lot of people think that they need a multi-page website to get started, and it holds them back from getting something up. And it's like, actually, if you just start with a one page, get something you can share with people. And the great thing about the digital world is you can always add to it. It's not like a printed flyer where once it's printed, that's it. There's no changing it. You can keep changing it and updating it. The most important thing is to get something done and up there. And that you've got a link to share with people to get them from social media, which you don't own, onto a platform that you do. And then the final thing is courses and memberships. This is where you can deliver your digital content from workshops, masterclasses, group programs. It is ideal if you want to scale beyond one-to-one work, or set up some sort of like passive income. A course or a membership platform helps you deliver content securely, automatically, and professionally. Some platforms are designed just for delivery, so they're just for an online platform where people can access videos and things, but other ones, like more all-in-one systems, will include things like payments, email marketing, communities. So different kinds of platforms. You've got school, people might have heard of. I use Thrivecart Learn because I've had that for years. There's Kajabi, Kartra, Go High Level, and then all the white labels of Go High Level, things like funnel sketches and stuff like that. The important thing to compare, because there is so many online course platforms out there, is the features. Does it include video hosting? Does it include a community? Can you take payments through it, or do you have to um, add something like that on? If it includes video hosting, how much storage do you get? Because what you need, you've got to think, if you're doing something like a membership, for example, you're constantly going to be adding new content to it every time you do like a masterclass like this or something like that. Is the platform going to be able to keep up with the added content, or is it going to keep costing you more every time you keep adding more videos? Are there monthly fees involved, or is it like a one-time license? And will the pricing of your product that you're selling cover the cost of the platform? There is no point having a really fancy platform that costs you hundreds of pounds a month if you're selling something that costs like £9, because then you've got to sell a lot just to cover the cost of the platform. And there's other ways that you can do it. Like I helped someone set up a course just with a Google Drive and some Canva slides, because that's all she had the budget for at the moment at the start. And then she changed it to a more sophisticated system once she knew that the product was sellable, that people wanted it. So I use Thrivecart Learn because I bought Thrivecart years ago. But I am switching a lot of my systems over to Funnel Sketches at the moment, which is a white label Go High Level version. So Sarah, your question, do you link that or embed links into your website for the online platforms? Do you mean the online course platforms? So how mine work is they'll go to my website and they'll go to like the sales page. That will take them to the checkout, which is in Thrivecart, or if it was on something like Funnel Sketches or something like that. And then once they buy, that automatically enrolls them into the online platform once they've bought. So I did just want to talk a little bit about free, paid, and lifetime options, because one of the biggest myths out there is that getting some of this fancy tech is going to cost you a fortune, and it really doesn't. There are loads of great tools out there that you can get started for free. One of the examples I shared today was MailerLite. It's free up to 500 subscribers. Canva has an excellent free plan. And there are other platforms that have low monthly costs, like you can get started with Google Workspace for £6 a month. And something I'm always sharing with people is keep an eye out for lifetime deals. Platforms like TidyCal, it's pay once, and that really helps keep your business going through the quieter months if you know that that tool is already paid for and it's going to keep working for you, whatever's happening in your business. And then I've mentioned it briefly, but I wanted to kind of touch on it again about the difference between keeping your tools separate or going for an all-in-one. Because that's another question I get asked all the time is, should I keep things separately or should I merge it all into all-in-one? All-in-one systems bring lots of your business tools into one place. Things like your email marketing, your booking calendars, your automations can all live in one system. One of the systems that I've mentioned today is Funnel Sketches. Their starter plan is around £17 a month, which includes their email marketing, your automated DMs. If you want to add online payments, that payment then goes up to £35 a month. For some businesses, that works really well. But because these platforms do many things, they can sometimes feel more complex to learn at the beginning. And then you have those monthly costs right from the start. So the question I usually encourage people to ask themselves is this: what matters to you most right now? If keeping the costs down, but having the functionality you need is your priority, then separate tools are often a great place to start, because they have either free or low cost plans and you can just add the ones in as you need them. But if time is your biggest pressure, separate tools can also work well because they're usually simpler to use and understand and just get going with. And yeah, you can just add new pieces in that you need. But if tech is something you just want to learn once and know that that system is going to grow with you as your business grows, then an all-in-one platform might suit you better, because it will you can keep using the same system as things grow within your business. There's not a right or wrong answer here. It's about choosing what works best for you and your business right now. And even with an all-in-one system, you still need a few of the foundations. Like people think, I've got an all-in-one system, I don't need anything else. But you'll still need a domain name. You'll still probably want a separate professional email address, and you'll still be using tools like Canva for content creating. So there's only like an all-in-one tool does not take away everything. There's still be other things that you will need to other tools that you'll still need to use alongside it. And you can always change your mind. I am in the process, I'm almost finished now, of moving everything from MailerLite to Funnel Sketchers because I hit that 500 subscriber limit of the free plan, and I had to make a decision of am I going to start paying for MailerLite or am I going to start paying for something else? And I decided that because it can connect to my DMs for my Instagram, it was better use of my time and my money to move everything over to Funnel Sketchers. But I have been using MailerLite quite happily for the last 3 years, and it's still something that people that are really not got anything to set up with email marketing yet, I would still recommend that they start there because it's a lot simpler system to use. So your tech stack doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to work for you and where you are in your business journey right now. So some tasks, some little homework for you to do once we've finished today is to audit your current tools. What tools are working and what don't you need? Have you discovered there may be some that are doing similar jobs for you? Is there any missing that could give you back that more time and help you make some more money? And don't be afraid to ask for help. If you'd like something to help you audit your tech, then if you scan the QR code on the screen, you'll get access to my time-saving tech checklist. And this goes through all of the tools that I've covered today. We've given you questions to ask yourself. So it's literally doing a mini audit on your tech. Like, what do I have access to this? What email address do I use to enter this? So that you've kind of, you can keep this like checklist, as it says in the name, of all the tech you've got going on in your business. Yeah, I can also, I think I've sent you the link to that separately, Faye, but if I haven't, let me know, and I can also send that over to you as well. And then if you've enjoyed today and find yourself thinking, this makes sense, but I have more questions, and how do I set these tools up, then the This Mum Loves Tech membership is the perfect next step. Inside you get weekly Q&A calls with me where you can bring any tech questions, you share your screen, I tell you where to click, and so you can keep moving. So that means you're not wasting time Googling or trying to get AI to help you, and then it gives you the wrong information, which I keep seeing a lot at the moment. And the best part is it's a completely safe space. There is no such thing as a stupid question. You just don't know what you don't know yet. My membership is £30 a month, which works out about £1 a day, and you can cancel at any time. And you also get monthly masterclasses with guests, and Faye is coming in to be my guest masterclass after this call in my membership. So yeah, if you want any more information on that, there is a QR code on the screen. You can find out a bit more about my membership, or please do get in touch. So I am This Mum Loves Tech everywhere. So whatever platform is your platform of choice, you will find me on there. Please do come say hi, send me a little message, and if you've got any tech questions, I will happily answer them. So yeah, anyone got any questions? Come stop sharing now so I can see you all.
That was amazing. Thank you so much. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop recording.